Hello, my name is Lola, and I'm going to react to Stranger Things 4 Volume 2 new TV spot trailer. Then after that, I'm going to react to new Rockstars Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 breakdown and theories and details you might miss. So here we go.
I know you're terribly frightened by what you've seen.
My friends need me.
You're not ready.
Oh,
There is nothing you can do.
what's up?
Your friends have lost.
Oh, man, it's messed up. We gotta wait so long. No, it's not really long. It's only, what, 2-3 weeks? And give me a sec here. And now here we are with new Rockstars, Stranger Things 4 trailer, Volume 2 theories and clues you missed. Here we go. What can you find for us, Eric?
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and Stranger Things Season 4 final 2 episodes are coming July 1st, and if only I could, I'd make a deal with God to know how this season ends. Because I loved Volume 1 so much, and I have so many questions about the final 2 episodes. A new promo dropped during the NBA Finals game, so let's break down the new stuff from that and talk about some unresolved mysteries from this season.
I know you're terribly frightened by what you've seen.
My friends need me.
You're not ready.
There is nothing you can do. Your friends have lost.
So some of this new footage was shown in the Volume 2 promo or in the first 7 episodes, but along with the new stuff is a shot of Murray with the flamethrower, Nancy facing the Vecna in the upside down, because let's not forget, she's still down there, or up there, or over there, or in there. But then this interesting new shot of Will crying as he hugs Jonathan. Now there are a few ways to read this, one being that someone might have died, maybe Joyce, hopefully not, we need to protect Winona at all costs, but this could also be the moment that Will comes out to Jonathan. I have more thoughts on how this moment could actually be a huge victory for all of the characters. Then there's a shot of Lucas taking a swing at basketball team captain Jason. Thank God. It looks like this is in the attic of the Creel house. Now remember, there was a shot in the previous promo showing Lucas screaming in fear as the shadow of a floating figure hovers over him, and then part of this scene, there's a shot in the trailer of someone in navy-colored socks floating off the ground. Before, I thought this could be Max being taken by the Vecna again, but Max wore white-colored socks in these episodes, and now I think it is Jason as the Vecna's next victim. Now Jason is all kinds of problematic, and one issue I had with Volume 1 is the way it depicted the bullies, Jason and Hawkins, Angela and Lenora Hills, as sadistic
I hated that hoe.
without reason. Now I get it, high school is hell, and sometimes kids are just evil, but Stranger Things as a series has always defied that 80s movie trope by making apparent stereotypical bullies like Steve Harrington redemptive figures with empathetic motivations. So I think for Jason at least, we will learn what past trauma is motivating this satanic panic witch hunting and his hatred of Eddie Munson. And unfortunately for Eddie now, if Jason does end up dead, that's not gonna help Eddie's legal trouble that much. Though who knows, maybe Lucas knows Jason's favorite song, and saving him from the Vecna could be finally what converts Jason to go easy on Eddie. As we saw in the promo from 2 weeks ago, the adults in Russia will discover some lab where the Soviets are experimenting on things they get from the Upside Down, including what looks like a piece of the misty flesh of the Mind Flayer. What are they doing with it? How did they capture part of it? And what will be learned about the Mind Flayer? Again, something I'll talk about at the end of the video. But it looks as though Jonathan, Mike, and Will make it to that desert missile silo where Brenner, Owens, and 11 are. Remember, this is in Ruth, Nevada. Maybe it's just coincidence, but Running Up That Hill is such a major anthem for the season, and it's worth noting that when you abbreviate Running Up That Hill, you get R-U-T-H or Ruth. And yes, it's a shot of Nancy facing down the Vecna. Volume 1 ended with Nancy still stuck in the Upside Down. But she cannot die this way. They're gonna have to play her favorite song to get her out of there. And I love the idea that the shots from the trailer earlier this year of Eddie Munson shredding on his guitar atop that trailer in the Upside Down could be him playing Nancy's favorite song. Robin might know Nancy's favorite song, as when they were in her bedroom in episode 4, Robin definitely rifled through Nancy's cassette tapes. So what is Nancy's favorite favorite song. Some are suggesting the nod to Nancy's Tom Cruise poster could suggest her favorite song might be something from Top Gun, like Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone or Berlin's Take My Breath Away. But both of those songs came out with Top Gun's release in May 1986, which is a few months after the season.
Could be
that Tom Cruise poster is not a
Bob
Top Gun
Seger.
poster. The fact that Robin called attention to it was really a callback to season 1 when Steve saw it and said people say he looks like Tom Cruise, which ended up being a running bit with Steve dressing up like Tom Cruise in Risky Business in the season 2 Halloween party. In season 1, Steve and Nancy had their first kiss to Toto's Africa, so it might be Africa because let's face it, we are all shipping Nancy and Steve. But also, those two later hooked up to Foreigners Waiting for a Girl Like You. But if Nancy associates that memory with losing Barb, I don't know if that would be her favorite song. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's the theme from The Never-Ending Story. Now, for me, the biggest question remaining for this season is the Vecna clock imagery. The grandfather clock appearing to each of the Vecna's impending victims. Definitely a menacing way of showing one's time is almost up, but I am convinced there is something deeper to this. I love the speculation around the school guidance counselor, Ms. Kelly, because when Max visited her in her home to get her office keys, Ms. Kelly wears a necklace of a key with a clock on it, and the grandfather clock that keeps appearing to all these people from the Creel house has a keyhole on the left side. And more than one of the Vecna's victims are kids that Ms. Kelly spoke to. I don't know about that, might just be a red herring. But still, clocks and time are obviously important to Stranger Things. In the opening flashbacks of the season, the shot that showed the crack on the wall of the Hawkins lab, teasing the fact that 11 opened that first rift to the Upside Down to banish 1 and transform him into the Vecna. The clock in that shot shows the glare from the ceiling light over the numbers 11 and 1. A clue that what led to this was a conflict between 11 and 1. I mean, even in episode 7, every shot where you see the clock behind 1, the numbers 11 and 1 are always connected by that light glare. And you remember the first episode also includes 11 saying this interesting line about the way time passes.
Emotions can make it speed up or slow down. We are all time travelers if you think about it.
Time travelers. We know that's gotta come back in some way. Now, does your daily grooming routine involve a signature scent? If not, maybe you just haven't found the right one. A great way to up your scent game is to try $7 for your first month. It's an amazing deal, available in the USA and in Canada, especially since in episode 7, 1 rants about time as an artificial societal construct.
Where others saw order, I saw a straitjacket, a cruel, oppressive world dictated by made-up rules. Seconds.
I don't know why, but every time I hear that song, it reminds me of that movie Watchmen, which I really love that movie. I don't care what anybody says. I love that movie.
Minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades, each life, a faded, lesser copy of the one before. I could not pretend, and I realized I didn't have to.
Now, we don't know exactly what the rewinding of the clock meant, because it's not like 1 or Vecna mentioned anything about rewinding time at that point in the monologue. Perhaps he was just moving the hands of the clock telekinetically as a symbolic protest of society's rules, but I think time travel will actually happen in some form on this series. The grandfather clock, I think, is a nod to the grandfather paradox, the thought experiment that ponders if it would be possible to go back in time and kill one's own grandfather, as that would erase one's own existence, theoretically disproving the possibility of time travel, unless you adopt one of the any other forms of time travel theoretically possible, including what we saw in Avengers Endgame, that going back in time causes alternate timelines to branch off from the timeline, creating a multiverse of possibilities and alternate dimensions, which is interesting because Nancy realized that the Upside Down was actually frozen on November 6, 1983, the night Will went missing. And that suggests that the Upside Down is specific to Will Byers. Now, it makes sense for the Upside Down to be something from Will's mind, otherwise the parallels of its monsters to Dungeons and Dragons are just super coincidental. Like, even if they're just the kids using D&D to label these things, they do line up pretty perfectly to how D&D characters function. Maybe the Upside Down is a dimension where Will Byers spent countless years in solitude, something that's felt like thousands or millions of years, as Dustin hypothesized this season, but in actuality, time does not exist in this dimension. It's a pocket dimension that spawned with Will Byers existing on a plane independent of time. Now, back in season 2, we learned that there was a connection between Will Byers and the Mind Flayer, but I have been on the fence when it comes to the theory that Will Byers is himself the Mind Flayer, or the Mind Flayer is like Will in the future, just because it triggers me back to our Game of Thrones theories that Bran was the Night King, and many have rightly pointed out that if/when when they reveal Will to be gay on this series, it would just kind of suck if he were also the big bad of the series. And I agree with all of that. However, we may be missing a possibility here, that the Mind Flayer is not the Will Byers that we have gotten to know over these 4 seasons. That Will is still and always will be one of the heroes of the story, but perhaps the Mind Flayer could be a Will Byers that we do not know as well, a darkest timeline version of him who never escaped the Upside Down, who lost all of his friends and never accepted himself. And that alternate timeline Will is who evolved into the Mind Flayer in this time-independent realm. That is why I think if the hug shot is Will coming out, it would be such a triumph. This Will, the Will who has grown up with us, who we've been following on this series, is our hero. He is the one whom the darkest timeline version of Will is trying to erase. In this way, the message wouldn't be something as awful as being gay makes you evil. No, not at all. But rather, a suggestion of a nightmare that many have gone through, that a version of yourself that is so overwhelmed with shame, that shame is the evil. So the ultimate challenge is to accept yourself and you will kill that shame. I mean, I don't know. Is that still problematic? I just want it to be okay for Will to be gay, but also to be the source of all the cool stuff on this show. Is that too much to ask? Again, I cannot wait for the final 2 episodes to prove me right or probably prove me wrong. And thanks again to Scentbird for their sponsorship of this video, and be sure to check out all their links below. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EAVOS. Follow New Rockstars. Subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how the series is going to end. I mean, it could end. There's a million ways it could end, you know. Will it maybe tie to Will being gay, or is Will even gay? I don't know. I mean, maybe. Who knows? We'll just have to wait till the 2 episodes come out, July 1st. Man, I can't wait. Ooh. Anyway, that's my reaction to Stranger Things Season 4 trailer, Volume 2. And my reaction to New Rockstars, Stranger Things 4 trailer, Volume 2, theories and clues you might have missed. See y'all in the next one. Bye.